The spirited monthly newspaper, The World's Advanced Thought, was a monthly periodical founded by Lucy A.Mallory in 1886. The paper's motto was, "Love is the way, the truth, and the life." Mrs. Lucy Mallory contributed her own spiritual writings as well as the inspired contributions of others. She served as a writer, editor, and publisher of the paper, which had an international readership that included renowned Russian author and vegetarian Leo Tolstoy. Through this uplifting publication, Lucy Mallory highlighted themes that emphasized the inner light of the human being. She also advocated vegetarianism for its loving kindness to other beings. Throughout her life, Lucy Mallory also acted on her humanitarian beliefs. She used her own funds, for example, to open a school for children of color so that they could receive an education. She was also an animal rights activist and a vegetarian advocate who hosted meetings of the local vegetarian society in her newspaper's office. She once said, "Vegetarianism is becoming worldwide. We are not speaking of forced vegetarianism. That doesn't count. We are speaking of vegetarians who have adopted the humane diet because of a sense of justice to animals. And also, the animal is not soulless. It has the seeds of all human principles. Through the lower forms of life, these seeds are dormant. Every human principle is there, but unborn, save the vital, the astral, and the instrumental." We now share with you selections from the periodical The World's Advanced Thought. The New Dispensation. It has been revealed to me that phases of life and character represented by different religious groups, races, nations, and conditions of men are but different states of consciousness due to circumstances of origin and association, that they are all degrees of divergence from absolute good, that they are all parts of a whole, actors or acts in a drama or comedy, notes in a symphony, colors in a scene, that they are all good in their places, all necessary parts of one universal plan, and are all moving onward and upward in one grand array, one unbroken chain of cause and effect, all guided and ruled by the omnipotent power, which acts not by spasms or passions, but by immutable, inexorable law. A law that makes toward love, but never swerves from justice. A perfect law which must be fulfilled. This message pouring into my soul, like a voice from a healing world, was like the dawn of a new day. Out of the chaotic confusion of earth's dissensions and discords, its killings and cruelties, its bigotry and intolerance under the mask of religion, its dens of ignorance, slavery, vice and greed, robbery of the poor under the name of law, born by a new love and a new inspiration above the misery and pestilential atmosphere overshadowing it, I saw the grander, better transformation seen. Pen cannot picture and portray the transformation of evil into good, the regeneration of earth, the clothing of it in spiritual wealth. The power of harmony is the power of God, and to remain harmonious under all trying circumstances is to be in the best state to receive God's help. The thought planted in your mind is a seed, and it will grow there and bear fruit of the same kind as the seed you planted. Good thought seeds bear fruit that give good. As ye sow, so shall ye reap. Constructive planting is reaping its harvest. Destructive sowing is reaping its harvest. The present-day man has come to his limit. Now comes a superior being who will bring the whole world into divine union. The mighty power of love shall work its wonders, and peace, divine peace, shall reign. Spiritualism has rooted now and will soon begin to bear spiritual fruit. The public memory is now going to be long on good and short on bad. Individual thought leads. Know thou what wove yon wood-bird's nest, or of leaves and feathers from her breast, or how the fish could build its shell, painting with sunrise each annual cell, or how the shady elm tree adds to her old leaves new myriads. The human soul's demand for truth being eternally continuous, and the supply being eternally inexhaustible, it is impossible to formulate abiding religious systems of perfection. While the religious system as a moral influence may be above the spiritual thought of the mass of its faithful followers, the spiritual thought of individuals will ever be above the most advanced religious system. Creeds, in the highest forms and the purest conditions, cannot from the very nature of things dispense and conserve the higher spiritual truth. They express past conceptions and must, therefore, ever be behind the most advanced spiritual thought. Thus the moral progress of mankind is assured by the evolution into formal and social expression of the thought involved in the spiritual consciousness of the advanced minds, and the social qualities and tendencies never fail to be a reflex of the thought of the social members in the concrete. Thus the unified thought forces being the organic and conserving energy, the ultimate conclusion is that the highest and truest conception the human mind is capable of forming of the universal or divine energy must accord with it. Mankind spiritually affiliates into a single individuality with a God parentage common to all, and in the tendency of all human experience. As to the proof of this proposition, the evidences of human history are affirmatory of it. The light that lights everyone that comes into the world, and all intelligences above and below, as well as in the degree of the individual, is spiritual consciousness. The season has its degree, as has the planet, and the object of the experiences, each and all, is to expand and extend the consciousness. If we knew what reprimands Mother Earth administered to her stubborn tribes in the yesterdays of life, we would not feel safe being elements of disharmony in her constitution today. Spirit is the intangible essence, or noumenon, of which matter is the phenomenon. The awakening. O thou that moves on the deep of spirits, wake my own from sleep. Its darkness melt, its coldness warm, the lost restore, the ill transform. That flower and fruit henceforth may be its grateful offering, worthy to thee. You are not human until you are humane. From center to circumference, harmony will prevail. The angels of the Lord will protect all who will receive them. The good time coming will start with the harmonious view. Angels shall walk with mortals, speak with mortals, advise with mortals. Good is, first of all, a self-upbuilder. Evil is, first of all, a self-destroyer. The ages will move on, and every year will be a new beauty spot left in history's calendar. All sin, so all die. Now we are to learn the divine science of virtue and truly live joyous, blissful and free. Spiritual unfoldment is doing the will of God, creating order and harmony in one's being and surroundings. Communication between spirits and mortals will be established. Then will heaven and earth be united, and all will know that death itself is dead. If you love, you will surely be blessed. All growth comes through suffering. Blessed are the pure in life, for they know God. Wise growth is silent, destructive ignorance is noisy. We have passed the devil age and entered the God age. This will be a year of unexpected events, mostly pleasant. It takes an illumined, harmonious vision to see into the future. The old sinks to its level. The new rises, full of divine and all-conquering life, to a higher plane of consciousness. All killing will cease before another year comes around, and never again will this beautiful earth give birth to conflict. The human family will come into harmony with themselves, and therefore with each other, and divine love will be the ruler. This is the earth's blossoming time. The fruit of the ages is ripening, and the fruit will be more soul-satisfying than ever before, because we are farther along the road of progression. Splendid viewers, thank you for your company for today's selections from The World's Advanced Thought, a periodical by Lucy A.Mallory, vegetarian. The New Dispensation, Part 1 of 2 on Words of Wisdom.